Hello, wonderful, amazing hosts. Just wanted to communicate a few things to you. First of all, thank you so much for everything that you're doing for this ministry. Just seeing you guys on Sunday morning at church is just so awesome, and you're such a valuable piece of this ministry, and I'm so thankful for each one of you and the way that you've been serving. I also thank you for your grace and your patience as we are continually trying new things, switching things up. I appreciate that. So I did want to communicate also a few things that are going to be new starting soon. So first of all, we have a first-time family folder that instead of kind of having those papers that I've given you so far, this is going to be a little bit more consolidated, a little bit more efficient, and families can just kind of take it home with them. Kind of stealing this idea from Treasureland. So here it is. It's going to be a yellow folder. There's going to be some kind of label on the front that says First Time Families. But let me show you what's inside. First of all, in the right flap here, there's a welcome letter from myself. Here is the parent policies. Now, we have changed one parent policy, and I'll quick tell you the story. I was at a Johnny and Friends workshop, and I met a parent who has two children with terminal disabilities. These kids are 6 and 2, and neither of them will live past their early teens. And so that, in and of itself, just kind of had me captivated in listening to this mother. But she was sharing an experience from a church that it was kind of their church away from church, their home away from home, and they were going there for Easter, and they really just wanted to worship, and they knew that this church had a disability ministry, and they thought it was an equipped ministry that they could just drop their kids off and be able to worship. And when they brought their kids, they were asked, "Could you stay with your kids?" And they were just so shocked and devastated, like we just wanted to worship. And here they had volunteers, and their whole thing was, you mean you can't just watch my kids? So basically, we're kind of adjusting our policy for parents that if it is their first time, the first thing it says here is that basically it's the parents' decision, and we just want to be really sensitive to parents, especially if it's their first time, to just say, hey, you're welcome to stay. If you want to check out the room, but if also you want to check out the worship center and just have that worship experience, we'll take your child and go ahead and have the freedom to do that and enjoy that. So part of that, just so you know, at the 9 and 11 o'clock services on each Sunday, we're going to have 2 people who are going to be floating buddies. So that way, if someone new comes, if there's a need that arises in Treasureland, whatever it is, or in the classroom, these floating buddies will just kind of be able to fill in. So, there'll be that, and then I'm trying to think if there's anything else on this parent policy that's changed. Yeah, not really. So. We still have the options for worship if they want to know. This is basically the venue list, which hasn't changed. And then the IWP, the medical waiver form, and then this is a behavior form that I put if applicable. So on the IWP, there's a section that if a behavior form, if that's something that they use at home, at school, or at work, we just ask them to fill it out. But if they have questions about that, just be familiar with these forms. Now, the other thing that's in this pocket that you really need to know about is this First Time Families card. So rather than saying, "Hey, could you fill out the IWP before you leave so we have all your information?" This way, it'll take some of the stress off, and if they do want to go in the worship center, at least we know how to contact them. So basically, this is a very, very simple thing that if there is a new family, say, again, you can worship, you can in the worship center, or you can check out the room with your child, whatever you want to do. Either way, could you just fill this out for us so that we know? So they'll fill this out before they go anywhere, ideally, okay? And then they can just leave it with you, and I'll tell you where you'll be standing and where the stuff can stay. I'll tell you that in a second, but this is going to stay with you, and I'll tell you about that. In the left hand of the pocket, just really basic stuff. Again, it's a little redundant with the options for worship, but just so families can take this home and know everything that we're doing, from the one-on-ones to the classroom to the quiet family space to prayer partners to sign language classes, as well as support in youth group and in Catalyst and stuff like that. And then down here, just some of the stuff that we're planning for the future. So that's, again, this is just stuff that they take this home, read it on their own time. And then the second one is just our values page, all that stuff that's in our handbook, just so they know that. So anyway, that's what's in the folder. So if there's a first-time family, you'll simply give them a folder, say, what you can explain the different venues. If it's their first time, if they have no idea where they want to go, then just say, well, here are the options of where you can go. But if they know that I want to try Treasureland, or I want the classroom, then just say, okay, I'll show you there. But if you could just first, if you could fill out this first-time family card, and then just check out the materials in the folder and read that on your own time. And if you have any questions, there's contact information in the folder. So it'll be nice and easy. Now, the other thing that I want to tell you about, this is really exciting. In the atrium where it says Connection Hub, so basically if you walk in the main doors, there's the well, and there's Treasureland check-in and all that stuff. Towards the well on the right side when you walk in, against the far wall, it says Connection Hub, and there's 2 computers there. And basically this is an area that's really not used or utilized at all on weekends almost. So we have been given permission to kind of take that area over. So at that area, there's going to be the 2 computers, but we're going to use that as a check-in system for the Reflectors classroom. And then once we add things like the respite program, the Friday night activities, stuff like that, we'll also use it then. But as for right now, with just the Sunday morning stuff, 11 o'clock service, if somebody comes and wants to check in their kid, that way they can be given a name tag, as well as a number, a call number that goes up in the worship center if we need to get a hold of them for any reason. If anything goes wrong, we need to get in touch with them. They need to come, and they need to come to the classroom for any reason. We can kind of utilize that system. And that'll also be an efficient way to keep track of who's there every weekend. So those computers we're going to use as a check-in system. Underneath one of the computers will be a cabinet, and that's where we'll keep our welcome folders. That's where we'll keep our handbooks. And again, you might get somebody that comes up and says, I just want to serve in this ministry, or I want to know more about it. You can give them a handbook. And the old handbook used to be the same color, yellow, and I've changed them, I've updated them, and they are in blue folders now. So if there's a first-time family, give them a yellow folder. If there's somebody that just wants to serve in the ministry, give them a blue folder. One other cool thing, we just got these business cards, very exciting. There's some really basic information on the back. We'll just kind of keep these out, and if somebody wants to grab them, they can grab them. Or if somebody just says, hey, I heard about this ministry, where can I find more information? Just give them the card and say there's the website, as well as contact information. So, helpful tool, hopefully. What else? So basically there will be a cabinet that people can stand at. There'll be the keyboard on top of the cabinet. We'll keep our stuff inside the cabinet. And then there'll still be a computer screen on the wall where they can check in. Next to that, the second computer is actually going to be lowered down, and we're going to have basically just a flat countertop that's going to be shorter for people if they need to pull a wheelchair into there and then check in on the computer. That's going to be lowered. So that's kind of what our check-in area will look like. There will be a big sign on top that says Reflectors, so that'll be exciting. The goal for all of this is that it will be up and running on Easter. And Easter is only a week and a half away, which is nuts. So this coming weekend, Palm Sunday, we'll keep doing things as usual. I tell you what, this weekend, Palm Sunday, I'll have some of these first-time folders, and I'll put them in the cabinet where we keep our other stuff in the Surf Central room. But then after that, next week is when they're going to put in the kiosk, the desk, and all that stuff. So from then on out, all this stuff will be kept in there. But for this weekend, if you're serving this weekend, these first-time family folders, just grab a couple if there are any first-time families. But our anticipation is that on Easter we'll have quite a few first-time families, hopefully. So then we'll have these at our kiosk station, and then be able to give those out. What else? Trying to think. It's a little bit different when I'm just talking and I don't have anybody to respond or bounce back questions. So if you do have any questions, feel free to email me, email Pam. Again, thank you so much for serving in this way, in this ministry. Again, it's just a huge blessing. And really, for first-time families, really that first contact that they have, you're going to be that first person. So always remember to just be sensitive, be loving. I know all of you are. But just to be extra sensitive to these families. Some of them are, maybe scared if this is their first time into a church. We're going to launch this respite program in May, and I just anticipate that we're going to get some folks who have never been to church before. And if we say, hey, we also have stuff on Sunday, Lord willing, they'll start coming. So be blessed. And again, if you have any questions about this stuff, I know it's all so new, and we'll just continue learning as we go. But I'm excited about it, and again, I'm so thankful for you. So take care. God bless. Thank you.